Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 things you didn't know the use for. These are a few things you either use or see every day, but you've either never realized the awesome use of them or never even thought about it. So check it out, and I'm sure you'll learn something that will change your life. But first, be sure to like the video and subscribe, and comment I subscribed and I'll try to reply. So, coming in at number 10, we have bumps on keyboard. If you're on a computer right now watching this, look down at your keyboard, and I bet you that the F and J keys have small rectangular bumps on them. Because many of us have grown up with computers and these have just always been there, we don't think about why. But the real reason for these is because many years ago when secretaries changed from using typewriters to keyboards, they needed a way to teach secretaries and other computer users the optimum typing position. What you're supposed to do is place your two index fingers on the keys and type from there. Although this isn't really used anymore as people have got better at typing quickly, they still put them on computers. So those bumps are simply to help you position your fingers to type faster. Next up, we have disc inside bottle caps. If you open up a plastic bottle of water or soda, the chances are you'll see a small disc inside the cap. Most people don't notice this, and those who do just assume it's part of the bottle cap. But if you've ever pried one of these out of your bottle cap, you'll see it still closes fine. Manufacturers actually make these separately, and they're called sealable discs, and the point of these is to keep everything inside the bottle, particularly the gas inside the bottles, which keeps them carbonated. Because without these sealable caps, soda would go flat very quickly. Even though they're small and almost unnoticeable, they serve an important role, and they're basically the reason that your Coke lasts for more than a few hours when the bottle cap is on. Next up, we have pocket in underwear. Because of health standards, the inside layer of underwear for men and women have to be made using a special soft tissue. So there is a small pocket of material sewn into every pair of underwear. Most women don't know what the point of this pocket is, and a lot of men don't even realize that it exists. That's because men's underwear has the material sewn in between two seams. However, because of the shape and the way women's underwear is made, this isn't possible without the person feeling very uncomfortable. So to keep it comfortable, only one side of the underwear is sewn, creating a secret pocket. Although I wouldn't suggest keeping change in it or anything. Next up is spiked toothpaste caps. On a lot of toothpaste tubes, the cap has a small plastic spike inside the indented part of it. While many just ignore this and assume it's part of the unnecessary design, well, this is actually a really cool hidden design feature that has a really useful purpose. Toothpaste manufacturers actually put these on the caps in order to pierce the foil to open the toothpaste. A lot of people are really surprised when they learn this, as most people use a pen or a pin to open these. But the manufacturers built this right into the toothpaste tubes. So next time you want to open your toothpaste, try this and you'll see it's an exact fit. They should really point this feature out a little better on the packaging. Next up, we have thick bits on cables. Cables are usually thin bits of rubber with wiring inside them, but a lot of laptop chargers and some other cables have thick bits of plastic on them. However, this isn't something that people usually question, and the chances are you've never thought about why. Well, these cylinder-shaped clumps of plastic are actually called ferrite cords or chokes. They're actually bits of magnetic iron oxide which are used to suppress high-frequency electromagnetic interference. Or to put it in English, they're used to break up the frequency of electricity coming into the cables and the electricity from the other electronic technology you have nearby. This may not sound important, but otherwise the whole world would be full of electric interference, and computer monitors, phones, speakers, and televisions would get a static sound and visual because of the amount of unfiltered electricity. So there you go, these thick bits of cable do actually serve a purpose, and quite an important one at that. Next up, we have holes in lollipop sticks. If you're a kid, the chances are you really like lollipops. Or even an adult, I mean come on, who's too old for a lollipop? But whatever age you may be, it's likely that you've noticed the small holes that are in all lollipop sticks. And almost everyone at some point has wondered what the two holes on both sides of the lollipop sticks are for. Well, they're actually there to keep the lollipop on the stick. Lollipops are molded in a sphere shape around the stick, but if there wasn't any holes to add friction, then it would just be a ball on a stick and would fall off as soon as you bit into it. So to prevent this from happening, these two holes are used so that the candy gets stuck inside them, thereby attaching the rest of the candy to the stick. Next up, we have small pocket on jeans. Jeans have been in fashion for years and years. Not only are they fashionable, but they're one of the most practical and useful pieces of clothing you can buy. And if there's one thing jeans are good for, it's pockets. We all know about the standard 2 pockets at the front and the 2 pockets at the back. But what's the purpose of that tiny pocket, usually placed above the front right pocket? It's a mystery to many, but the truth is actually really cool. The pocket was designed for cowboys back in the 1800s, and it was used by cowboys to keep watches in. And according to the Levi Strauss website, website, the name of these pockets is actually a frontier pocket, with frontier meaning cowboy. Despite the lack of cowboys nowadays, jeans companies still include these now useless pockets, mainly for nostalgia and for authenticity of the design. Plus, what kid doesn't want to be a cowboy? Next up we have hole in pen lids. You know when you're bored in class or at work so you start to chew on your pen lid? Well, this actually used to be very deadly and would kill hundreds of people every year, because people would end up accidentally swallowing their pen lids and choking to death. So to solve this issue, pen companies began adding these small holes to their pen lids, in order to give people a better chance at survival in case they accidentally swallowed a pen lid. If you were to swallow a pen lid before, your airway would be totally closed off. However, the hole means that you can now breathe a little bit. Then again, I would still try and avoid swallowing pen lids despite this useful feature. Next up we have white part on fingernails. Our fingernails are made up of 3 parts. Firstly, the top white layer of dead fingernail, then the living main part of your fingernail, and then the bottom white crescent-shaped area of your fingernail. Many people don't know what the point of this part of your fingernail actually is, but it serves a purpose. It's called a lunula, and it's there to hide the blood vessels in your finger. The reason it's white is because it's thicker than the rest of the nail, and it needs to be thicker to protect it, as a damaged lunula can actually result in a deformed fingernail. Some people don't have a lunula, which can mean they have a low metabolism or too many toxins in their body. And if you have a very small lunula to the point where you can't see it, this could mean that you're due to fall ill. And next up we have hole in aeroplane windows. Have you ever noticed that tiny hole in every aeroplane window? For some first-time flyers, this can freak them out, as it looks like it could be a fault in the production of the window. However, these are made intentionally, and the actual purpose is to compensate the air pressure, as the air pressure inside the aeroplane is very different to the outside of it. And the hole is simply there to regulate the difference, so the outer window doesn't have to do all of the work. And another reason is because plane windows would fog up easily when they're so high in the sky, but the hole in aeroplane windows prevents this, as it allows some air to travel through both sides of the window, and regulates between the warm inside of the plane and the cold air on the outside. Check out Top 10 Nerd for amazing videos on all things nerdy. And that just about wraps up this video. Be sure to use the poll to vote for the most amazing thing you didn't know the use for. And as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe.